And welcome back. This is Dr. Lenora Foster, and today we're talking about parent-teacher conferences. Yes, I understand. No, it's not the most favorite part of any teacher's career, but it's necessary. It is so important that you have a strong parental alliance. So listen to this. I'm getting ready to make your life easier, okay? This is going to be a breeze once you get in enough practice. And so just listen to this formula. But before I get to the formula, make sure that you have done your due diligence, okay? First of all, make sure you have your rules and consequences and list, posted in your classroom. Make sure that you have gone over this with your students during the first week of school. Make sure that you've shared this information with your parents. And once everyone is on the same page, you are ready to go. Now, once you're in your classroom and you notice that there is indeed some negative behavior that's happening, then you need to follow that list of consequences to the T. So the first thing you need to have on that list of consequences and you need to do is give a verbal warning. Second thing is, once that behavior continues, then you need to have that one-on-one conference. That may mean keeping the student at the end of class and speaking to them about their behavior, what behavior they need to change. That may be having a 5-inch voice conversation about that at the student's desk. That may be stepping out into the hallway just for a few seconds to go over exactly what you need to see a difference in when you go back in. But that student needs to be keenly aware of exactly the behavior they need to change. If the behavior persists after that, now is time to bring in the cavalry, as I like to say. It's time to call the parents. Don't procrastinate. The quicker you do this, the better off you will be. The students as a group, the class, they are watching to see that you are following the list of consequences. When they see you are about the business, it will deter future negative behavior. Maybe not all of it, but a lot of it will be deterred when they see that you are going to actually contact the parents or the guardians. Okay, so once you contact the parent or guardian and they come in for a conference, it may be a face-to-face conference, it may be a Zoom conference, what have you, you're going to follow this formula. Are you ready? Okay, first thing, you're going to start off with a smile and you're going to say something positive. Thank you so much for coming in. I can tell that you really care about your student, and I know that you want your student to do well in this class, and it makes our job so much easier when we have supportive parents. Praise them. Be positive. Second thing, point out something positive about their student. I don't even care what that is. It could be academic. It could be they did well on the spelling test the other. It could be that they, were the first to come up with a really tough math, answer or what have you. It could be that they helped another student pick up their items when they dropped them in the hallway. It could be that they excelled on the soccer field or the baseball field or the football field. It could be that they are a great cheerleader. They have great school spirit. It doesn't matter what the positive trait is. Find something. From the biggest, baddest student in the building that everybody is going like, oh no, to the student who is so timid, who rarely gets in trouble except for this time, you can find something positive about any student. So find it, think of it, and remember it, and share it at the beginning of this conference. The next thing you need to do is get straight to the point. What's the problem? What is the issue? This child is disrupting the class. This student is doing this. This student has not turned in their homework assignment the last 2 class periods. or what have you. You need to get straight to the problem, and you need to give at least one or two examples. So when you say the student is disrupting the classroom, the parent is probably thinking, well, what does that mean? What do you mean by disrupting? Are they standing up? Are they singing aloud in class? Are they blurting out? What does that look like? What does that sound like? They want to know. So have one or two specific examples to really explain what you're saying. Once you've done that, then most parents are thinking they already know what they're going to do to support you when they get back home and speak to their student. Some parents may not really know what you expect them to do, because they're thinking, well, this happened in your classroom. This doesn't necessarily happen at home because we don't have this. So what are you expecting them to do? So this is what you need to do. You need to, whether the parent knows what to do or not, you need to suggest, please speak to them. Please sign off on their agenda that they have completed this assignment. That way, the student is being accountable for their homework assignment. You need to specifically suggest how the parent can support you in dealing with certain behaviors that the child is exhibiting in your classroom. And lastly, you need to end the conference on a positive note. Thank you for coming in once again. We really appreciate your time and effort in coming in. And I know that Johnny or Sally or whomever is going to do well. I know that they can turn it around. Once we get them back on the right track, I think they can do well, or what have you. You want to end the conference on a positive note. Now, if you follow this formula, positive greeting and introduction, positive trait about the student, get to the point and give examples, and then share with how the parent can support you, and then end on a positive note. If you follow that formula, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a parent in your corner. They're going to be supportive of you. They're more likely to follow up and make sure that their student is improving in your classroom. So when you are as proactive as you can be with this, and you're consistent with this, then the word will get around. Students will start talking to each other. He called our house last night, and they had a conference over the phone, and whatnot, and it gets noised abroad. Students are then aware you are not intimidated, you're not apprehensive about contacting their parents, and that will make them think twice about the behavior that they decide to show in class. Okay, so I wish you well with that. Now, I would also, let me address this before I leave. Let me address this. There are some situations, and I'm aware of that, so we want to keep this real, and we want to deal with reality. I am aware that there are situations where you may contact the parent, and the initial contact over the phone or what have you may not be very positive, or the parent may come across as being very assertive or very aggressive to you, and so you are concerned about that. So let me offer you more support. Okay, in the case where you feel as though having a one-on-one parent-teacher conference may not be the best in your best interest as a professional, then please know, without hesitation, please know that you have other resources there to support you. Remember your support village, okay? So you can contact an assistant principal or the principal to ask them, will you sit in on this conference, please? You can ask a guidance counselor if you believe it's a situation where a guidance counselor needs to help because there may be some mental health issues. That they can offer some resources. Ask a guidance counselor if they would join your conference. Okay, if you can also ask your mentor teacher or a teacher on your team if you're in a middle school situation where you're operating on teams. You may have a team conference so that you're not having a conference one-on-one with the parent that may be aggressive, and give you a little bit more professional support. But know that there are resources, there are sources out there that if you do feel as though you need support, you don't have to walk into a situation that you feel is not the best situation for you as a professional. Okay? So I hope this is helpful, and until next time, bye-bye.